Good day, participants. So for today, we talk about the technology and learning, the digital education promise in learners' outcome. So yours truly, Mr. Roy Albert Acosta, your resource speaker. Okay. To start with, learning and technology are made for each other. We can learn technology or learn through technology. Both are interconnected. In learning technology, there is a lot to learn. Technology and involving every gadget has its own importance and features. We can learn technology to know about them or to understand the existing technology and modernize them. In the learning through technology, these days, children are being taught their syllables through the means of technology, which help them to understand keenly, which help the younger generation to come up with a new ideas and invention, which in turn develops the technology. On the path personalizing learning, technology empowers students by giving them ownership of how they learn, making education relevant to their digital lives and preparing them for their futures. With technology and access to resources beyond classroom walls, students are inspired to become problem solvers, critical thinkers, collaborators, and creators. Where technology has been successfully integrated into classroom, students develop a life love of learning. Educators are always striving to personalize learning for students. Technology can help them reach new levels with access to real-time student data, longitudinal information, content, application, and more. Technology can help educators create blended learning environments and leverage digital tools for informative and summative assessment, bringing new models for learning and teaching to the classrooms. Prominently rising from the COVID-19 crisis and the issue of content, educators need to be developed and weigh in online educational content, especially to encourage students to consider a topic from different perspectives. The urgent action taken during this crisis did not provide sufficient time for this. Access and an added concern. For example, not every school district has resources to provide students with a laptop, and internet connectivity can be unreliable in homes. So let's talk about the benefits of technology and education. So teacher wants to improve students' performance, and technology can help them accomplish this aim. To mitigate the challenges, administrators should help teachers gain the competencies needed to enhance learning for students through technology. Additionally, technology in the classroom should make teachers' job easier without adding extra time to their day. Still, children learn more effectively with direction. The World Economic Forum reports that while technology can help young students learn and acquire knowledge through play, for example, evidence suggests that learning is more effective through guidance from an adult such as a teacher. Leaders and administrators should take stock of where their teachers are in terms of their understanding of online spaces. From lesson learned during this disruptive time, they can implement solutions now for the future. For example, administrators could give teachers a week or two to think carefully about how to teach the subject not previously online. In addition to an exploration of solution, flexibility during trying times is of paramount importance. Educational and technology can foster collaboration. Not only can teacher engage with students during lessons, but students can also communicate with each other Through online lessons and learning games, students get to work together to solve problems. In collaborative activities, students can share their thoughts and ideas and support each other. At the same time, technology enables one-on-one interaction with teachers. Students can ask classroom-related questions and seek additional help on difficult to understand subject matter. At home, students can upload their homework and teacher can access and view completed assignments using their laptops. Technology allows 24/7 access to educational resources. Classes can take place entirely online via the use of laptop or mobile device. Hybrid version of learning combine the use of technology from anywhere with a regular in-person classroom sessions. In both scenarios, the use of technology to tailor learning plans for each student is possible. Teacher can create lessons based on students' interests and strength. An added benefit is that the student can learn at their own pace. When they need to review class materials to get a better understanding of essential concepts. The students can review videos in the lesson plan. The data gathered through these online activities enables teachers to see which students struggle with certain subject and offer additional assistance and support. Why is it important in integrating technology in the classroom? Teachers often find success when they present the opportunity to use technology in the classroom. There are various benefits and effects when technology is used for educational instruction, and some may argue that not all of the effects are positive. Having an infinite flow of information and entertainment available at any given time could be seen as a distraction. But if technology is integrated into the classroom with routines in place that are monitored or assessed, the pros of using technology in the classroom outweigh the cons. Keeping students engaged with technology. Active engagement is a key part of any lesson plan. Whether students are working independently or collaboratively, technology engages students because it is interactive, helps students with different learning styles. Not all students learn and retain information in the same way or at the same speed. Technology is an opportunity for teachers to differentiate instruction, to modify information for appropriate learning capabilities of their students. Our use of technology can allow students to work at their own paces. Prepare students with life skills. Remember, technology has become its own form of literacy because of how often it is used in everyday life. Many careers use at least one aspect of Microsoft Office or Google Drive on a daily basis, balancing budgets on spreadsheets, creating decks or slideshows to be presented, or attaching documents to email to communicate important information. Allowing students to learn and refine these skills prepares them for life beyond the classroom. Technology should be seen as support for what teachers should know and do, instead of providing a prescription for how to teach. Viewing technology as a support for teaching and learning allows teachers to discover ways to do what they already do for efficiently, more effectively, more interestingly, or in a new, innovative ways. According to Gordon 2001, students may perform a web research faster and better than their teachers, but they still need to be taught to filter and critically engage with what they read, see, and hear from the multimedia devices they so deeply operate. And school is still the place where they will need to develop the skills they need to function effectively in the world, to read and write, to add and subtract, to understand how nature and societies are organized and where they fit in. In other words, there are many other reasons why students should study about and with technology. Technology provides instant accessibility to information, which is why its presence in the classroom is so vital. Smartphones, computers, and tablets are already an omnipresent element of everyday life for students and teachers alike. It's only natural that the use of technological devices in the classroom is explored to create meaningful learning experiences for students of all ages. Utilizing different types of technology in the classroom, including a virtual classroom, creates learners who are actively engaged with learning objective. The implementation of technology also creates pathways for differentiated instruction to meet the unique needs of students as individual learners within a broader classroom climate. As educators, begin to rethink learning through the lens of effective use of technology. Reshaping educational spaces is a pivotal factor for success. With fresh ways of thinking about learning environments, schools can capture the promise of involving educational models without diminishing the importance of teachers. Now, there are 6 key insights to help educator consider spatial responses to the technology revolution that is now well underway in learning, according to Steelcase research team. First, person-to-person connections remain essential for successful learning. Early signs or early signals from several studies suggest that blended learning is better learning. One prominent example is a 2010 U.S. Department of Education study found that instruction combining online and face-to-face elements had an advantage over purely face-to-face or purely online learning. And neither mode produced better results over the other on its own. In fact, the learning outcomes for students is purely online conditions and purely face-to-face conditions were equivalent. Educators have long known that school endanger social learning as well as cognitive learning, and many studies have validated that. Recently, example, in a pilot study of a blended learning high school class, 4 key elements were identified as important for the role of the teacher: fostering a culture of hard work and persistence, monitoring students throughout the class periods for motivation and learning, personalizing instruction, and intervening when students are struggling, and building personal relationship of trust and caring. This study was conducted by Evanston Schools in Goggle and Stanford University. It is clear that learning happens best when people, technology, and space are brought together in innovative ways. Even in higher education, despite abundant online instruction and discussion forums, there's evidence that many students still seek face-to-face time with their professor and each other as important components of learning. Second, technology is supporting richer face-to-face interaction and higher-level cognitive learning. Much of the information that only teachers possessed in the past is now available to students online, challenging the old model of educators presenting content and students absorbing it. As a result, progressive educators are now leveraging technology to create a different role for themselves in their classrooms. Instead of using class time to spoon-feed information, Technology is helping teachers use their time with students to advance problem solving, communication, and collaboration, exactly the type of higher order skills that leading education specialists and employers say should be the goals of education. Going as far back, those who created the influential Bloom's taxonomy of learning objective in 1956. The flipped classroom model, in particular, demonstrate this shift to higher ordered activities in the classroom by having students learn new content at home and then work through assigned problems in class with the teacher offering personalized guidance and interaction. Third one, integrating technology into classrooms mandates flexibility and activity-based spacing planning. The technology-enabled learning. Students can progress through materials at different spaces or at different paces, and multiple subjects can also be taught in the same room because blended learning changed the role of the educator to become more of a facilitator and coach. Teaching is often shoulder to shoulder, with multiple teachers acting as tutors and motivators to give directed support. In elementary level, blended learning experiences, there's a growing use of para-educators who work alongside teachers to manage online learning and help with classroom activities, much like graduate students in a university setting. Classroom designed for a teacher to lecture at the front of the room are now being redefined to support self-directed work at computers as well as collaborative projects. Individuals' rooms are designed with multiple zones versus treated as one type fits all, and different types of spaces are being created to support different types of activities. Fourth one, spatial boundaries are loosening. Flexible spaces have become more important than ever. Classroom with mobile tables and chairs, wider hallways to support more activities, cafes with whiteboards, lodges with informal setting and power connection, movable walls to space so space can be easily divided and combined. These are among the fast emerging designs imperatives for effective educational environment. For some institutions, entire buildings and grounds are being used as the classroom. Example, places where learning activities takes place, especially when using mobile technology. Students and teachers can choose different spaces according to their different needs, making spaces outside the classroom an integral part of the learning experience, whether students are working alone with peers or with teachers. Educators at school that have adopted use of in-between spaces for learnings say giving students choices and control is the key. It helps students and teachers tailor learning experiences to their specific needs, prepare students for college where learning is typically dispersed in a variety of settings, and also helps institutions more fully use all their real estate. Fifth one, spaces must be designed to capture and stream information. Video is creating multiple new ways to capture and present content. Teachers, offices, and classrooms are being adapted to become recording studios for creating online content, and webcams are being added to classroom to capture class activities. By videotaping presentation of practical skills, the students have the advantage of self-assessment in addition to feedback from peers and grading from the teacher. Video conferencing capabilities are increasingly valued by groups of students. For team assignments or study groups, they often find video conferencing more convenient and just as effective as everyone meeting together and in person. The last one is high-tech and low-tech will coexist. Although technology developments will continue to revolutionize education, students and teachers haven't abandoned analog materials and aren't expected to anytime soon. Schools will continue to need spaces designed to support the parallel use of analog and digital tools. Workspaces, including tablet arms, should be large enough to support both the analog and digital tools that students use in class. Whiteboards should be affixed to multiple walls versus only at the front of the room, and mobile whiteboards for both student and faculty use offer distinct advantages. At the conclusion in this discussion, more than ever, classroom and informal learning spaces must be highly flexible to support the new behaviors of learning that are the direct result for new technologies. As rapid development occurs and new technologies impact the ways that knowledge is transferred and embodied, the time is right to redefine or refine both the processes of education and the places where it occurs. Through innovation, it's possible to bring the best of technology-empowered learning into bricks and mortar schools. The results can be positively transforming for educators as well as their students. Thank you and good day.